Just because you have a law degree does not mean you have to practice law. Today, I am going to show you 10 alternative careers for lawyers. And this one is near and dear to my heart. And make sure to stay tuned because I even have a free download for you that can actually help you fund your career transition. If you are ready to ditch the corporate grind and buck the traditional system, then please subscribe to my channel. I put out new videos every Wednesday, so please make sure to hit that notification bell so you get alerted every time a new one comes out. Are you starting to feel that lawyer burnout thing? Yeah, I know. Been there, done that. I was a trial lawyer for 10 years and I totally know what that's like. You get to the point where you go, I don't think I want to do this anymore. Well, the good news is I am going to show you 10 alternative careers for lawyers, one of which is how I was able to leave law. And I gotta be honest with you, I've never looked back and never been happier. Well, I'm sure this isn't the first you've been poking around at what can I do even though I have a law degree. And as you know, there are jobs that are still associated with law and there are jobs that are not. So let's first talk about 5 jobs that are related to being a lawyer. The first one is you can be a contract consultant. We all took contracts in law school. I'm pretty sure it's a requirement everywhere. And even if when you went into law you did not specialize in contracts, that knowledge is still there and people will pay you for it. So it doesn't even matter what the contract is about. You all know the basics and fundamentals of contract law. So what you can do is become a consultant and go around to small businesses, large businesses, and offer your services just as a consultant to analyze their contract. They can pay you hourly, they can pay you by project, but it is a great way to leave law but still have your toe in the legal waters. Another one that is a natural fit for lawyers is to be an insurance risk assessor. Now, a lot of people who are practicing lawyers practice in-house for insurance companies, but if you don't want to do that, you can simply offer your services to analyze projects for risk assessment. They can be construction companies or banks or anything where your specialty is or your knowledge base lies. You can create a proposal and then offer to them your valuation of risk assessment. And they can pay you per project or per hour. So again, it's very legal based, but you're not actually being a lawyer for them. Okay, third, legal tech project manager. Now tech is huge and it is booming. And the legalities of it are very complex and they're getting more complex and they're hitting faster and faster. So tech companies often don't have a way to keep up with the legal tech advances. So when tech companies are coming out with big projects, they often need outside advice of the legal pitfalls they could fall into with some of the new and upcoming technology in their new project. So they will hire people for advice on the legal pitfalls, even though, again, you're not being their in-house counsel, you're not being their lawyer, but you are offering your expertise, especially if you know something about the tech world. It is a huge and booming market. You could easily have a full calendar of clients where you could be a consultant in the tech world. Okay, the next one is another obvious fit for lawyers, and that is you could be a professor. Usually lawyers can go on and be an adjunct professor unless you have your PhD. If that's the case, you can be a full professor, but being a professor is something that lawyers tend to love to do. They can go to small law schools or paralegal schools even and teach students what they know about the law. Having a law degree will open the door for you in order to allow you to become a professor. And the last legal related one I'm going to talk about, which I don't know why anybody would want to do it, but yeah, you can go into politics. And yeah, I thought about it when I was in my 20s and then thought, no, what the heck? Why would anybody want to do that? But a lot of people with law degrees, obviously, there are so many presidents who were lawyers before they got into politics. A lot of lawyers go into politics in any number of ways. You can start off with people's campaigns, or you can decide that you want to do it yourself and become the politician. So you can either work for a politician or be the politician. But if politics is your game, then your law degree will definitely put you ahead of the pack. All right, so now that we're about to transition completely away from legal jobs, I am curious about how long you've been kind of wondering whether you should get out of law before you started to research it. Put your answer in the comments below. 6 months, 1 year, 5 years, whatever the answer is, I would be super curious. For me personally, it was probably about a year before I said, yep, that's it, I'm out. All right, let's move on to jobs that are not related to the law, but seem to have a lot of lawyers go into these fields. The first one I can think of is becoming a blogger. Now, I am a blogger. I've got a couple of different blogs, and there are a lot of lawyers who are bloggers, and it's a natural fit, right? We love to research, we love to write, and it is just hand in glove a great fit with being a blogger. Now, it takes a little bit of time to build up a blog enough to be making an income, but a lot of people do it, and it can certainly be done. So pick an area you're passionate about. It does not have to be legal. It could be if you want to write about the law, but it can be anything. And follow the path on how to be a blogger. I do have this video that I made about how I made my first $1,000 as a blogger. That was a few years ago, and it just goes up from there. So being a blogger is actually a very good fit for lawyers looking to get out of law. Okay, the next one, and I do have some personal experience because this is what my daughter did. She also has a law degree, and it did not take her long at all to say, oh no, I don't want to be in the practice of law anymore. So she looked around and she landed like the most amazing job ever. She works for a company and she is their content creator. It is a small-ish, but with big plans, startup company, and they work with all kinds of executives and CEOs at very, very large companies. So she has this great job where she is creating all of their content that gets pushed out to all of these very high-powered, very well-known CEOs and executives. And the company really appreciates that she has a law degree. She does offer advice for some of their contracts, even though she's not acting as their lawyer. But because she does enough of that, they've actually just offered to also pay off her student loans for her. So, woo! It's a really good gig for her. All right, next up that seems to be a natural fit for lawyers is to be a headhunter. Now, you could do this for a large company, or you can do it on your own as a consultant and create your own company. It probably would work well to start off by being a headhunter for attorneys or legal staff because you know that area so well. You can make a name for yourself there, and then you build up your clientele as you go. It's a great way to transition out of law. You're not really doing a legal job, but you're using your knowledge base to help others, and recruiters actually make quite a bit of money. Now, a little bit random and out here is real estate. You could do a traditional real estate, become a real estate agent. That requires an exam and a course. I think the course takes about 6 weeks. Or you can be a consultant for people in corporate real estate and talk to them about some of the legalities that go along with these very, very large corporate real estate deals. There are many companies around the country that handle only corporate real estate, and they are always looking for people to give them advice about the pitfalls that could come about by these large corporate real estate deals. And the last non-legal job is something that I think, oh my gosh, probably like 80% of lawyers either do or say they're gonna do, and that is become an author. I see it all the time. Oh, I write a book. Oh, my book's on Amazon. Okay, I'm an author. I've got 2 cookbooks out. So I get it. It's great. Again, lawyers tend to be good writers, so it is a great fit. Pick whatever you want to write about and write about it. And do it. Dig into it. Do it. You got to create a website in order to sell your book these days. You got to have social media. I've got a video here on how to get all that set up if you haven't done all of the social media yet. But write your book and promote it. And who knows, you could be the next, of course, John Grisham. Okay, so now that you have 10 ideas of how to get out of the practice of law, if you notice, a fair number of them revolve around kind of starting your own thing, consulting or being an author. And sometimes you need some financing to help get you through it. I actually started up a small business and came up with some creative ways to finance it. I've got a link to that download below. It is about tapping into your 401k without a penalty and using that money that you have already put aside in order to invest in yourself and create your own small business, which, by the way, mine makes far better returns than the traditional 401k, but the PDF is below. It has all the information that you're going to need if that is an option you would like to consider. Now, if this video has helped you realize, yeah, there are some other ways out there that I can earn an income without having to practice law, please give it a thumbs up and go ahead and subscribe. And if you really are ready to buck the system and create a freedom-based business for yourself, then go ahead and type #bucket in the comments below. It's what it's all about. Again, my name is Heather. Thank you for joining me here, and I will see you next time on The Freedom Strategy.